Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. We're going to have a good bit to discuss as things recover to start off the week. And we said, we're going to remove all these pivot levels. But we said going into the weekend vid, right? It's like we did have everything reversed. However, everything hammered the day. So what happened? 2-2, right? This 2 down in green marked the low on Friday. 2-2 reversal marked confirming that low, right? Now, the question then becomes, we do have sub-broadening formation like this. We are still an inside week, and we could actually draw this multiple ways. We could also draw it this way, right? There's a ton of broadening formations going on in here. So the question is, do we stay up? And if I was betting man, I'd say we're probably just going back up here, right? Bottom of the range, top of the range. That's how it works. If we go to Qs, it did the same thing, right? Dow, same thing. So we have all these things that happen. Now, key levels, right? Last week's highs on SPYs. That needs to be taken out to reverse the week. If not, this could go inside in red and just be continuation still. Right? Qs, same thing. Got to take last week's highs. Dow, IBM, all this stuff, it has to take last week's highs. If you look at IBM, you can see they tried to short it this morning, Monday morning. Now, if that kicks into the upside above 245.24, those guys are in deep shit because they're wrong, right? The market's continuing and they tried to short it. So if that happens, you got a lot of pivots here in IWM. It could be a very quick move right in the morning. Dow Jones, you also still have pivots up and left. So when we look at that, what we'd say is, that's fuel to the fire if we are above yesterday's highs, or actually Monday's highs, with the slight momentum hammered day. That being said, what did we see happen? Well, we said gold, right? Inside week, boom, to the upside. Now that's got to stay green and it's got to stay above last week's highs. If it were to flip red, that changes what we know. Now, if we go to XAU USD, right? Is it anywhere near changing to red on here? Nope. But we would say it has hit its initial pivot target. And in this case, you'll see they made 45-cent higher highs and they dropped 494 points. And now they're trying to come back through it. Right? There's your broadening formation. If we go to silver, same thing. Inside week, simultaneous break. So what is that? Algorithmic buying. What does that tell you? Going back to all-time highs. Right? And if they don't, that's actually bigger trouble for the gold and silver. Like if we just go up in here and we reject and start coming back down, what is that going to tell us? It's like, well, they tried to buy it, but there's more aggressive selling in the other direction. That could be what marks the high in these guys for a while if that occurs. So we don't want to see it rejected. And we have high evidence that it shouldn't be rejected. So aggressively long, and if it doesn't work, aggressively short, make all your money back and then some. That's how we think. We have things like the financials, right? And Doji, but it is 3-2-2 week, right? If we go to the energies, 1-3-2 week to trigger the 2-2 month. That's something we like to know about all week. And then momentum hammer day with a inside 60 or hammer 60 here for tomorrow morning. So if this goes hammer 60 up at energies, that's something we'd like to know about, right? It would cause hammer day. It would confirm a week and the month. And then if we go to OIH, you'll see this did take last month's highs. So the buyers, they test the highs and then they sit. Now, as they're sitting up here, we are quarterly continuation, monthly 3-2 expansion. They've been buying in here, aggressive buying, and then continuation of aggressive buying. So if this is true, up and left, and we already have solar companies running, TAN, which is the solar ETF, same thing as OIH, right? This is outside year. So for next year, we will have this as expansion. Everyone's like, oh, solar's really getting, like, it's really going this year. It's like, if it's really going to go, next year is when you want to know about it. And we will actually have a cool offer going on for the new year. So just, a side mention, we will have a yearly scanning class and session and going through all the charts and everything. It's gonna be super cool. Make sure to stick around so you see that. But that's what we see here. If we go to XOP, you will also see the 1-3-2. Now it's a little bit smaller range, but again, if this works and we do start expanding to these pivots, that could go 131 to 160 pretty quick. If we go to MPC and VLO, MPC still trying to rev strat the month. We want to break last month's highs. If we do that, all-time highs 214.09 would be ideal. VLO, inside month momentum hammer, still going to the highs and broadening expansion. So this broadening formation is trying to expand and get bigger. So it might go really far, it might not. We'll see. PSX is also in there. It's still inside month, double inside week. So currently it's sideways, but 2-2-day PSX could break the week, the month, right? Could break a continuation quarter. And that would have you 2 going 3 years setting up for next year. So if this breaks next year, we also want to know about that with OIH, RevStrat year setting up here. And this RevStrat year in OIH starting way down at the bottom of the range. So you can see, right? Oops, wrong one. Bottom of the broadening formation, top of the broadening formation's up here. So it's like, maybe OIH. That being said, we will see things like MP did break. We're kind of just ripping through our weekend vid list. But we'll see MP did break. Insurers, Progressive is coming back a little bit. Aflac and Allstate are continuing. Aflac did set up a daily signal maybe for tomorrow. Healthcares, right? The 3-2 hammer day. Boom. And you can see how if we go back, right, this occurs. We have all these pivots to take out. What does that tell you? Well, if it works, boom, you're taking them all out. And that's why we use signals to trigger levels, right? Everyone's like, I want to buy the breakout above 146. Like, I want to buy the signal that causes that, because if you buy and then you go into losing trade and have to sell, I don't want to take the loss with you, right? Same thing. And I want to sell the gap down, blah, blah, blah. And then it reverses. Like, I'd rather go after that. But you can see going in the healthcares, we've got LLY, explosion into the highs. UNH, not so much. JNJ, outside day. So this could go RevStrat week, still inside month. Does have some range to take out, just not much, right? Up to 190, and then you'd have to see. From our weekend video, we had a few more high volatility, which are smaller cappers. GRAL did reverse, although it doesn't stay. NTRA, one of the stronger ones, boom, right? Daily to the upside, 3-2 week to the upside. So we'll see if that holds. Then CDTX, you'll see to start the week, nothing. Staples, nothing. But we did see Philip Morris break the week, right? So we're in there, and then we'll see if that holds. Industrials, CAT, you'll see momentum hammer day inside week, so nothing to start. Tractor Supply Co. at the RevStrat week up, right? 2 going 3 month after slight lower low on the quarter, so that might be trying to recover back to 64. Waste Management, also no luck yet, but hammer day for tomorrow. In the materials sectors, we already discussed MP with the weekly up. ALB did go RevStrat week up. CMC RevStrat week up. SCCO hammer week up. So you can see they buy materials to start the week. And we noted that in the Discord. We said materials, you want to know about that. The reason you would want to know is because of this. This hammer week is timing this, right? Potential 92.57, if not, 90.43, and then we'll see. If we go to cryptos, Bitcoin did, get moving to the highs a little bit right now on the day, is reclaiming and trying to flip red here. So this level, 105.796, becomes important. If you're below that, Bitcoin's coming through all these guys down into 103.939 for you nightly traders. If we go to MicroStrategy, this is where, if Bitcoin's really bad, MicroStrategy is going out of business. So 2-2 day on a Tuesday MicroStrategy, currently 2 down month, currently 2-2 quarter, currently setting up the inside year for next year. So we can expect next year shooter below this, which isn't good, but what if it RevStrats or something? That would be good, because this inside year tells us we're going to test the highs or the lows of this broadening formation if that's successful. On the downside of things, Meta. We will see momentum hammer day for a Tuesday. Could trigger a 3-2 week, so that is on radar for that. Give me 1 sec to type some stuff out here. All right, so just copying a few things over. If you go to the airlines, jets, they are closer to the 2-2 on a Tuesday, right? So we would say if you look at those airlines, you know, they're not moving the most, but 3-2-2 on a Tuesday does give you 5% to work with. So small account guys definitely can be looking at that. We got American Airlines, right? That'd be 3-2-2. We got United. That'd be 3-2-2. Delta would be 3-2-2, which tells you to look at cruise lines, NCLH, which is quarter down. CCL 3-2-2. Then RCL is a little stronger. So from the weekend vid, those may counter, and that's fine. Right? That's what the weekend vid's for. We look for signals there. Circle could also be the reversal down. From the weekend vid on the daily 2-2 Tuesday. And then hymns could be reversal down. However, they are at the lows of the broadening formation. So trickier spot. All right, all right. Now we can take a little bit of a look at the scans, but we're going to try and keep it to a minimum. I know this video is already getting slightly long, so I apologize. See how fast we can get through the scans. It looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble on my scanner here. All right, so I guess I will not be able to hit the scans tonight. I'm not sure if that's on my end or the scanner's end, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the nightly vid, and really, here is your vid. It's coming from your weekend video, right? These are all things from the weekend vid, so this is gonna be your nightly vid as well. Adios, and have a good rest of your night.